is the only theater member person not here, and the theater manager.
Yeah, and she mentioned that, the only night that she has a commitment in the entire month is the first Wednesday.
Patty.
Yes.
Yeah, we're aware of that. And it's been that way for a while.
Okay, all right, very
Yeah.
good.
We're very accepting.
She mentioned it at the center.
Thank you.
And she was very good about doing some research.
Awesome. So, were you able, Catherine, to get any type of report or anything from the theater manager?
I did. Jamie quickly put together some information, and so, on behalf of Jamie, the theater manager, she's indicated she has been to 5 businesses, of which 1 has donated, and they wanted to remain anonymous. They donated $350 and everything for the first week of Spider-Man, so that was all profit. The second week there will be some profit. She doesn't have all the numbers yet. So that was a donation of $350 from the business that wishes to remain anonymous. She has been to 4 others, of which 3 I'm familiar with and believe that she probably will receive a sponsorship from them. So she's been so busy that she asked me to advertise for the part-time position, which I did advertise for that, but put the job description for assistant manager with it. So we'll just see what we get. So she also had a laptop that was donated. She's still finalizing items with the band for the 13th. There is an issue regarding the sound, and so she's trying to work these snags out for proper sound that the band, the really good band that she booked wants to have. There would be quite a cost attached to that, so she's still working with that, and she is working on the budget, because they gave us the budget for all the department heads and supervisors. So I'm not sure where she is with the band issue. Tickets have not been sold yet, because I did ask about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no tickets yet.
So that may get canceled, just based upon the details that are going on. But she'll have more information shortly, very shortly, because the 13th's coming up.
Yeah, next Friday.
So what's wrong with the sound system?
They want to have a professional sound expert there, and those are very expensive. She did try to get somebody, she had somebody that she knew that was just gonna come in and do that, but they were unable to due to scheduling. She's still working on it, you never know.
Are you talking about someone that does like the soundboard or something, or?
They would be a sound expert, sound technician.
I'm surprised the band doesn't have their own.
That is, I thought that was unusual,
Yeah.
especially one that's well known. I thought that was very unusual. So
Yeah,
she
no.
has more details about this. But that was a report she was able to get together. She has another commitment tonight.
Did she give you a list of the businesses
I
that
have
she has gone to?
I do, but I'm thinking that one wanted to remain anonymous, and she needs to go back and talk to 2 of them, and one she went there, but they weren't there, so I think we probably shouldn't say their names.
Yeah.
At this
That's
point.
Oh, definitely.
That's fine, I'm not interested in saying names, I'm interested in, I told Jamie back in July, the first week in July, that this was pertinent and crucial to us surviving. And it's now the first week in September, and we're just getting sponsors, we need to have the rest of the year. I have offered my time, I would like to help with that task.
I think all of you are gonna have to help with that task. Everybody's
So
gonna have
that's
to
why
work
I
on
would
that.
like a list.
Well, I'm sure tomorrow we can, or I can send you this list.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be great. I actually, to make it so it's not helter-skelter, the town has a list of, businesses, and it's a kind of a thick
And we
packet.
gave that to Jamie, she has that.
I think that it would be smart, I don't know what you guys all think, if we start at the top of that
We
list
divide
and
it up.
start
Mhm.
crossing them off.
Mhm.
Cause there are gonna be some that are just gonna say, no, thank you. And,
So
we
why-
discussed some time ago that this is the only way we were going to make it to the end of the winter.
That would be correct, so why don't we have her send you all the list, and you work on the internet to divide these up amongst all of you, and, have a spiel, so have some statements of what you're doing, so everybody says the same thing, and then pick out the ones that you feel comfortable talking to and make sure there's no duplication. That's been an approach that's worked well in the past for different projects.
Should we print a letter?
A letter would
There
be
has
good.
been a letter printed. There has been, well, there was kind of, yeah, the flyer thing that.
Right, but like an actual,
I think that it's not necessarily, something that every one of us is gonna wanna work on.
Some people are gonna be more comfortable doing this
Yes.
than others, and some people know different businesses will feel good going in or comfortable going to talk to them, and then others you won't know, and so,
that's the ones we'll send me to.
we'll send our bold member there.
I don't care whether I know the people or not, because it'll be the same,
Right,
It'll be the same thing, but some of you will
orchestrate,
know people and feel comfortable going to talk to them. But I think that's something that you can do over the internet, and you just divide the list up. But we've done other projects for other committees, have done it that way and got it done. Somebody has to keep a running list, which should be the manager. And then you all sign up, and then she crosses them off, so that nobody does a duplication.
sounds good to me.
Yep.
do you have weekly meetings with Jamie?
I don't have weekly meetings with anyone. I'm covering 6 positions right now.
Mhm.
So there's no weekly meetings with anyone. The staff comes in when they need items, which is the way that we've always had it, and it's worked out
I
fine.
was under the impression you had weekly meetings with Donna. No? Wrong impression?
Donna would drop in weekly. When she needed something, we might not see her for a week, but then we see her 3 times in a row. So she would always come in when she needed something. That's what everybody has done, and it's worked well. In the beginning, when I didn't have as much work, we had more positions, there were weekly meetings, but that was many years ago. But with all the cuts and, trying to maintain the taxes, we don't have set meetings with each of the staff members.
I don't know that it's a bad idea to have a weekly meeting with Jamie where she is new at this. I don't know how the rest of you feel about that.
She drops in the morning, and if I'm not at meetings, we talk, but
And I
there's
think
no
she comes
weekly-
here regularly,
She comes
right?
here regularly almost every day and talks to different staff members.
Good.
But there is no weekly meeting set up, because I'd have to have 14 of them, and it's just not gonna.
Is everything straightened out with, the past bills for the movies being paid?
All right, so Jamie had told you all that was straightened out, and then you asked at the meeting, and I explained it was all straightened out. So it's still all straightened out.
So the projector thing too, because I know that was separate, right?
I don't know what the projector thing
The
is.
projector contract or whatever, when she called and said we weren't a customer anymore. She called them and for
I
help one day.
don't know what that is. There's an annual payment that would be made, but we would get the bill and then pay it.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a technician coming to, like overhaul or just, check out the system and do some training also?
They check it every year.
I almost think it's October, Jim.
Okay,
I'm
you
not
remember
real
talking
sure,
about
but
that,
I
like
remember
I
her
said,
saying, yeah,
it's in
because she's
October.
lined up when they're coming anyways to get better training.
Okay, so it wouldn't hurt to get, more than 1 or 2 people in there.
That would be
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll
She
have
got
the
training
other-
over the phone.
Right.
Several times.
Yeah, but I think that when they come to do their yearly thing, they're gonna be able to show her,
Yes, because they're here.
actually sit with her and do it, is
Because
how I
they're here,
understood it.
so that would be a good thing to do.
Yeah. I think that's what she
Yeah,
And then
planned on doing.
if a
but I
couple of
don't
you
know.
wanted to be there, or
Yeah.
if she had the part-timers there, that would be good.
Right,
Mhm.
hopefully we'll hire somebody. Cause it seems to me October, but I don't really know.
Okay.
So everybody's gonna have to work on the business list in order to make that a success. And if you would like, we could pull business lists from other towns too. The Newport one is hard to pull, but once you get it, it's very effective. I used that for the Sebasco Valley Chamber of Commerce when we did different projects. The other towns aren't really as organized in the area, but I've gone as far as Fairfield on different things and gotten vendors up here at least. So that might be something to branch out to once you dig into the Pittsfield one.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, cause when I did it for that raffle, I just went for a ride. And there were a lot more places than I thought.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I just rode around. Any place that had a sign, I stopped at.
We just got to the Egg Festival and it was very successful. The businesses you didn't even know
Yeah.
what they were.
Yeah, I went for a ride. The Burnham Beach Party.
So, we move on to new business. We've talked about the upcoming events. Jim, do you have any idea where the idea that you had 6 or 8 weeks ago about the, I don't remember what it's called.
Burlesque?
Yes, thank you.
I sent her a video about a group in Bangor, and she said she's gonna look into it. So,
Do you think that we're perhaps at a point where we need to look into it? Because I feel like Jamie has really taken on a lot and she's having a hard time trying to get these updated movies in.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a lot of time spent doing that. Kind of hoping that somewhere along the line, maybe she will connect with one person that can, you know, work with her really well. I don't know how it all works, but it seems to be very, very difficult.
And you've got multiple companies that you're dealing with and different people at each time.
Yeah.
Right.
So it would be nice that maybe once she gets, you know, really established down the road, that in each company she had a person that she could, like,
I'm
will
sure,
tell.
I'm sure that that's her goal. I mean, that would be the more
Time will
effective
tell.
and efficient, but it sometimes it's hard.
So, do you feel that that's something that you should
try.
look into? Does anybody have any other ideas that, this spring we were pretty successful, we were all working on one thing each.
I think, like one thing each, I think we need to book a show that we can all get behind, that we can get the tickets printed ahead, that we can do the pre-sales like we did before.
Does anybody have any ideas on something? I mean,
Well, I think the burlesque would go good like that. You know, I think if we really got a good, I think that's something where we would draw people from out of town for a wide range of audience would come, young, older, like just random, you know, and I think that pre-sales are the way to go.
Pre-sales are an excellent idea. A lot of people will buy it to support the theater, then not come, and
Right.
then you can sell more.
does anybody else have any ideas along to go with that?
Well, I'll see where she's at with, Pete.
She
And if
did get a
not, I'll
phone
talk to
call
him.
back from him, and they need to connect that.
Okay. Cause I knew he was working on it, and he was gonna get back to her, so good, if he got back to her.
Good.
And that was very recent.
Cause he's another one that will wanna pre-sell tickets.
I spoke to him during reunion weekend. He told us to reach out to him, so I'm glad that that's happening.
Well, we have been all along.
Yeah, it's time to get off the pot. Either move on and do something else or get connected with him. We've been doing this a whole year. So
And
maybe
then-
we need to.
Does anybody know what's happened with Ukulele Russ? At one point, he wanted to change the date.
Oh,
Jerry Lynn had sent me the information. I just was supposed to message him on Facebook, which I did, and I told him I had to double check Jamie's contact information first and stuff, but he never messaged me back. And then I double checked all the contact information and I put it there. In the meantime, I think Jamie got on and tried to contact with him too. I messaged back Jerry Lynn to make sure I was messaging the right page. Apparently I was, but I never heard back anything, and I don't know if she has either. I'll have to check on that.
He was
This I have
he
not
was
heard.
scheduled
Yeah, this
for
was all,
October 10th, around there.
which was, what night of the week
Monday.
was it? Okay, and whatever he was doing that weekend that made it so we had him on a Monday had changed. So it was like he could come on a Friday or a Saturday or something. But then I couldn't, we'll see, I'll get back on Jerry Lynn might have a different number.
I thought he was up in Alaska.
He is? He's coming home.
Comes home periodically.
Well, he's just, I mean, he's coming for a visit or something, I think.
Yeah. Um, Dean, I'll start to work on Dean Neal again. I don't think it's any too soon to nail down that date so we can advertise that for Christmas. And that would be free, but they will accept the donation home portion.
Is it a movie?
No.
Christmas movie or?
It's
Christmas
an
concert.
MCI Christmas.
I'm pretty sure the local Kiwanis has signified that they'd like to sponsor, I think it was a Christmas or a holiday movie or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how far we've got with that. But.
Well, that would be wonderful.
Yep.
I
Who
would
would we
love
contact?
to,
We contact you?
What's that?
Who do we contact with that? Should we contact you?
You can
or-
contact me.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually have a meeting this coming Monday, so I will bring that up again. I don't think we haven't voted or anything on it. But what would we settle for a price?
$350.
$350.
and Patty had mentioned that she was gonna bring some information by about the policies. Was she able to
Yes,
do that?
that was what I handed out. And so she dropped that off late this afternoon with copies for you all, which was supposed to be double-sided, but it'll be easier for you to look at them this way. So yes, Patty came through again, looking at volunteer policies, dress code, leave of absence, well, okay, these are all for the volunteers. Smoking, and then she's on to a safety and liability section. She has everything in here. Conflict of interest, sexual harassment, return of property, accepting payment of gifts, improper influence, inside information. Okay, inside information. Yep, she covered any type of item that I think could ever come up. She's trying to address the prescribed drugs, and we have to get that legally checked.
Yeah, I don't think that can be.
Yeah, there's a few things in there that's
HIPAA.
sort of beyond, yeah.
You know, if I go in as a volunteer, I don't have to tell anybody if I take an antibiotic or anything. If I took Tylenol or Percocets or whatever, you can't ask about people's medical. But other than that, like,
No, she's found, information on everything.
Well, I would like to take this home and look it
Yeah.
up good.
Yes, digest it and see how it all flows together. It likely has gotten pieces from different places.
Just out
Thank
of
you, Patty.
curiosity,
That's awesome.
with the general liability stuff, is that correct? Did you read that part?
I did, there are sections that would need to be reviewed and changed a little bit. We would probably not be that specific. Yep, no, you're correct.
How about all volunteers are at their own risk?
They usually are.
Right.
Our coverage does provide some
Well,
coverage
yeah, but,
based upon the situation, but then.
right,
you
if
have
it
to
fell
have
through
the
a
exact-
floor, that would
exact-
probably not be my
Yeah.
problem. But, you know,
But our waiver.
you volunteer.
Yeah, it says you're a volunteer at
Right.
risk and everything.
If I stick my hand on that kettle and burn my little finger pads, I probably shouldn't go to the emergency room.
Yeah, there's different sections, you know, this came from different safety policies and volunteer
Yeah.
policies that you found on the internet.
It's great.
Yeah, it is very good. There's a few sections that we need to be reworded. Some of them are more pertaining to employees than volunteers.
Yeah, and I think that, right, paring it down and
Mhm.
viewing some, so we don't wanna discourage volunteers, you know.
That is correct.
We want them.
She also dropped off the coffee news with a little $30 coupon with the idea that maybe that would be something to look at for advertising. I'm not sure how, I've seen those in different places and I'm
Yeah.
not sure how many people actually read them all the way through.
I think if we're gonna spend $30, we might be smarter and spend it in the Rolling Thunder.
It's a $30 coupon though, we don't know how much it
$30
costs.
off. Yeah,
Okay,
$30
thank
off.
you.
It's more than $30.
And that's one of the things that with this movie campaign that, you know, we had talked about putting the business that was going to be advertising in the Rolling Thunder. I mean, that's all more on top of Jamie, so. But really-
I think we should see if that's even, I say put them on the website, put them on the screen, put them on the poster, share them on the internet. What's the Rolling Thunder? How many people are
Well,
really
you might
looking
not,
at it?
but there are, obviously it's out there enough so that it's continuing to be in business and people are delivering it. You and I might not do it. but
Well, I
think
look at it for
that's
certain
significant.
things. You know, if I know this fair I'm going to or something, I always get in and get that section out or something, but.
You already put it in the flyer too.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
never mind.
what businesses with, so we have to change that.
No, never mind.
What if
So,
we just made like a little makeup of one and she just has to change the name and we can just send it off?
well, that's all we have to, yeah, that's
So-
all we have to do is show them what we want and they'll just keep changing that name every week.
So you can design something? Help her out with that?
They will as well.
They will? Okay.
Yeah, she can tell them what she wants and they'll do it. Yeah,
Cool. It's not like she has to provide a picture of what she
every
wants.
week, no.
No, if you send in your information, they'll design you know,
Oh, cool.
things around that and the print and font, and then you approve it.
Nice.
So the assistant manager, can you give me a little bit of, the particulars? I meant to pick up a Rolling Thunder tonight. How much does that job pay?
All right, that's gonna be based upon the person's qualifications. But you had them in there previously for $14. I did not put it in this time.
Okay.
And thinking, we put out the assistant's job description just to see, people are scared by the name assistant. So we've had people come in, oh, I can't be the assistant, I could just work. So we just put in part-time help. So I asked Jamie, do you want me to put assistant or part-time help? And she said, use part-time help, that's all I need. I can get by, you know, save money. But also, I thought, in doing this, we might attract in somebody that, you know, has the skills but doesn't think that they do. So we've had 4 or 5 inquiries so far, people have taken the applications. Nothing is back yet. And of course, we have to be very careful on our costs.
And this is it a 25-hour a week?
It's whatever is needed up to 25 hours a week. So originally, we were at 25, but our revenues are lower, you know, and our expenses are going in where we thought they were gonna be, so we just need to be careful. So if you've got somebody really good that could help generate money, you know, that had the skill set, maybe you would go to the 25 or start them out lower.
Well, it would be nice that we had another assistant that can take on the original tasks that we had laid out. I do have a email address of a woman at that I have talked to on the phone at Hudson College, and I will be emailing her some of this stuff just to throw it out there. If there is a student in a second or third year program that they might be, they might not be, but it's worth looking into.
So the package is on the website. On the right-hand side, just click on it where it has
Uptown website.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Part-time help.
You might wanna put $11 to $14 an hour, depending on experience, and then up to 25. You know what I mean? Just so they don't think, well, the job automatically starts at that, because no, it doesn't. If they come in and they apply and they don't have any experience and they're just applying for a part-time help position, it doesn't start at that.
That's why we didn't put the amount there, just to see what we
Right.
could, maybe we can attract somebody local that would wanna work some hours and help out. We might find somebody really qualified, you never know.
Right, potential of up to $14 an hour.
But she does need some help, she's not getting the volunteers that she needs. And so she's running the theater and not having enough time to spend on
So-
sponsorships.
Has anybody signed up to volunteer, or she just has had a hard time getting them in, or have you heard any more about that?
She mentioned she needed volunteers for Saturday and Sunday, and
I'm volunteering on Saturday.
you were volunteering, I saw yours, and Patty was unable to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she does need volunteers, she's had some, but she needs some.
So,
Sunday, she still needs somebody.
As far as I know, as far as I've heard.
I'm still on the assistant manager. So before, when we hired an assistant manager, we were quite particular in what we were looking for. We weren't just looking for somebody just to fill in some hours. We were looking for somebody that was going to be able to run that place like she could run it.
There was a list of items for them, yes. And that's what we put that job description in there.
Because the whole idea is not to just have a part-time employee. The idea was to have an assistant manager in case she got sick or wanted a vacation.
Right.
So I hope that's what we're still striving for.
Yeah, and she said that she would train the person because she doesn't want to be there all the time.
Do you have a digital makeup of what you put in the Rolling Thunder that we could put on the website?
Yes,
Just to get it out there?
yes, and you can get it off the town's website, or I can send it to you.
I was looking, I don't know where on the town website.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I
I
looked
just
for
see
something
this.
to,
Okay, it was down at the bottom, so, well, no, it was at the bottom of the ad, so we'll have to ask Michael what happened to it. He had the copy, it was on there because I downloaded it myself, so we'll have to see what's going on.
Okay.
And I can send you a copy.
because I looked to share it on my Facebook, but I didn't see it.
Speaking of the website, this is kind of going out of turn, the website hasn't been updated since Rocket Man, more than a month ago, well, a month ago.
All right, so you're talking about the theater website?
Yes.
Right. So we'll reach out to her again, see if she wants help. She took over all of the, she
I
wanted
think
to,
she does need
so.
help, which
Yes.
is why we're advertising
Right.
again.
Right.
Well, until she
And
gets
if we
the
can
help, I
take
think
some of
we
these
should.
jobs from her, then, you
We
know,
reached out
for-
a couple of times and she says she'll do it, so. I don't want to push too much, but I think I'll just ask her again. Just help out.
Do you have access to the website, or you'd have to get the access?
No, no.
Because you set it up,
Right.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask her
And
to
she
work
asked,
with you.
she wanted to do it,
Mhm.
so
All right,
showed
well,
her how to do everything, so.
well, I'm sure she
okay.
would like to do it, but if there's
Right.
something that we can help her with, then we should.
Yeah.
Okay. I will connect you to her.
Awesome.
So Catherine, in the agenda that we had before tonight's, the one that I kind of scrapped, you had mentioned about the gap that.
Yes, I
we're
thought that's
gonna-
something that should be on each agenda so that we can see where we're at, because, you know, if you could come up with $30,000 or $40,000 that you have that you could get each year, you would really help it would really help make the theater be a reality for the future. And so I think having that on there is gonna be important so that everybody keeps working on it. But it can't be just Jamie, it's gotta be the whole committee, definitely. Wouldn't
Jamie's
be-
gotta let us help too.
Yes, you all have to work together on it.
Um,
So that was my only purpose, I thought that that should be on there, just so we can see where we're at, of which you've got the movies here, which is good, because that is part of how you're going to fill the gap by the sponsorship of the movies, and then anything else that you can come up with. So that's why I mentioned that.
I think it's a good idea.
Then it just is at the forefront, so you think of it, you know, each meeting.
Do you have off the top of your head how much needs to be?
So, obviously with the meeting schedule change, the books closed on 8/31, everything some items get posted on the first workday, so there's no way you would have the finals. But I did run it out, I posted everything that I could post, and then I've got estimated figures for the rest of it. So for your expenses, as an estimate only, because I've gotta go through, I can't just think that these are all everything, because somebody could have misposted just one, like a 1 and made it a 2, or a 1 and a 5, and it went to a different account. So I have to check all these, which are hundreds of postings. So for the theater expenses, as an estimate, it looks like you have spent of your 100,366, approximately 81,743, which is 81.5%. And if you were on spending the same amount each month, and I always report to the council on the estimate for the months, would be 66.7. Now some budgets go faster or or slower based upon when the bills come in. This one has been pretty much in the past running on the percentages, but now with the budget cut, it's running over, obviously. So 81.5% has been spent, and you would have at the end of August, so starting for September 1, approximately $18,622 left. So if you spent the same amount that you spent this month, you would have a couple of months left and get into November. So you were gonna make it till the end of October. It looks like you picked up a little bit, and so you can get into November a bit. So then we go to the revenues, so that's all expenses. And I gotta look for $94.25, but I believe it belongs in here and not the account that's posted here, on the numbers that are brought in. So it looks like you have revenues of approximately $4,810. And again, I need to check every single revenue that came in to make sure they're all in the right account. The GAP account, the new GAP account, has $495 in it. The first monies that went in was $5 last month, and then this month you have $490, being the donation from the business that wants to remain anonymous, and then a donation of $140 from Pop Onovers toward the Lion King, which is very nice. So that was $490, and then of course you've got your other monies in the other account that we're holding here. There's your $490 for your GAP account. So the total in the GAP account is $2,119. And again, I'm gonna go back and check everything. then you should be in the same exact position for the renovations account. You should be at $9,933, because nothing should have been touched, no expenses, no revenues.
And the bottle money and the donations on the counter and stuff, those go into the GAP funding
It should be
account
going
now,
into the
right?
GAP account, yeah. But there doesn't appear to be anything really going in there except for pop-on overs and that anonymous one. There was $5 in July. That must be bottles.
So was the $495 just from last month that went into the account? Is that
That's
what
from
you're saying?
August,
From
yes,
August.
for the GAP. So I will go back and check all these. It looks like it's all movies. I don't see any bottle money or anything else, just movies.
It does sound like, the last month or so, she's had some good numbers coming in the door.
She said concessions were really good. The numbers are higher for the people, which is good. I have to check out $94.25 to see which account that needs to go into. I can't tell from the details.
Yeah.
All right, so that's where we're at. That's just rough. I have to go through and check everything, because everything is not posted. I posted everything I could post. But we need to put all the payroll figures in and everything, so I did estimates.
I think she's been doing a great job. I just think that
She has too much to do.
she's gonna need help, or she's gonna have to relinquish some back to us
Mhm.
helping or something, but I'll
Yes.
talk to her Saturday.
Mhm. All right, so we need to make money.
Lots of money.
Yes, and then we've got what is the long-term plan here. I did get an estimate from Ellen Angel to update the figures in the architectural fund. Well, of course, I can't spend any money from your accounts, but I'm not sure that we want to. That was approximately $863 to do a full review of the study, update all the figures.
Yeah. Well, I think first we gotta see, first we need to make it till the end of the year, but then kind of see what the council wants to do.
I think if
They
you
don't
had,
act like
you
they're
know,
gonna,
I think if you had some, not guaranteed funding, but a way to bring in, you know, a certain amount of money that really helps in reducing the cost of the theater.
well, I think that the change in positions and stuff is gonna drastically reduce the cost of the theater. It was just kind of too little too late. And that bringing in more shows and having better movies is going to generate more revenue.
This is
And
true.
more it's just gonna,
Well, in my eyes, Jamie has done a great job bringing in some good movies and bringing the people in. I just feel like the town council is going to want to see more shows, and we haven't pulled that off yet. Part because Jamie's starting out brand spanking new. We got into the summer, that's kind of a tough time.
she really started out fresh either. She started out in the hole.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like she walked in and she started out way in the hole.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, so that's kind of been a drag on us, but I think we're gonna have to ask them for money again this next year and see what they think.
I don't know. It's not really us asking them for money. They can take our recommendations or not take our
Yes, that's
recommendation.
right.
It's them doing their thing.
We need to have some guaranteed revenue sources. We have to up the revenue.
Right.
Yeah. With a big push. An organized push for funding, which goes beyond the town, because the people that come to the theater are beyond the town too.
Right. Well, hopefully we'll be able to take credit cards and sell things over the internet someday. I think that'll help. Think if we could just sell tickets online. Take donations online. Nobody has to get out of it. oh, I liked the theater when I was 8, I'm gonna send them $20. But I'm beginning to think that's never gonna happen.
So do you know what the item is, why it hasn't happened?
I thought that it was
We were
the
told
town,
Everything's been bought.
but I thought we couldn't
Oh,
take anything online.
Are you
Take-
talking about the online thing or the credit card thing?
Both.
I think the last I heard, she had the credit card machine, but she didn't have the right service or equipment or something to set it up. She was gonna talk to Michael, I believe, last meeting is what she said. And then we were told that we are not allowed to do anything online because it has to go all through the state. Like, we can't set up a PayPal account because it's not state.
All right, let's concentrate on the credit cards. I will connect Michael and Jamie up tomorrow so we can find out what the issue is, and either we can do it or we can't, but we bought all the items, so the town's doing it, so why can't the theater do it? And we did have, I was doing the bank reconciliation, and I see where a dollar went in and was tested, and it went in the account, and then I had to make an adjustment for it, because it doesn't belong in there, you know. So I added that in as a revenue. But the dollar went in, so it works. So I will find out what's going on. It's working great for the town. It's very hard to reconcile these things, because instead of having one deposit, our checks go in as an amount, the cash goes in an amount, and then you've got the different types of credit cards going in sometimes different amounts, and then they're all on different days, because they all don't happen the exact day, and then you have to figure out, well, the deposit was 4,500, which of these items makes it?
So, but the theater will have its own account, or is the theaters are gonna go right into the town's?
The theater's gonna have to go right into the town.
Right.
Right.
It's
They
not
can
gonna be a
just-
separate
They can just
statement.
mark it as.
Cause I think that
TH.
was, I don't know if that's still part of the problem, but wasn't that part of her problem, was her ability to reconcile, like, how much she'd taken in for the night? It seems so I remember that mentioned,
Okay.
but I don't really know. No,
Yeah,
never
I'm
mind.
trying to
Just
stay out of
Michael.
this part, but I can connect up Michael and Jamie and see what's going on, because the posting went right in, it said theater, so I knew it belonged to the theater. Maybe they just need a reconciliation sheet set up. I feel like this is getting so complicated, but it should help with the monies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works good for the town. I feel bad for the people paying all these service charges, but it's a convenience thing, and that's what they wanna do.
I pay a service
As far
charge.
as like PayPal, can we set up a PayPal account for the theater? Or
Where would the monies go to?
we would have to
You'd have to have.
get it to set up to whatever theater, the Fill the Gap account, we'll just say that.
We probably have to set up a separate bank account, because the town's hooked with the state of Maine.
Right.
I'll check into this, I'm not sure. I know Michael and Jamie worked on this, and after I saw the dollar come in, I thought,
No, this is separate, like, if
Yeah.
I wanted to go to the theater website that I created and put a donation button through PayPal, so people could just enter their card information,
we would set up a separate account for you.
we can do that.
I would think that we could. I would have to get permission to do it.
Cause
So
he
It would
was
be
Michael-
only
Mike-
PayPal to that
Michael
account.
had said no to PayPal when we asked months
Well,
ago.
it can't go to the town's account, but
Right.
why couldn't we set up a separate account?
Well, that's
We
what
have
we didn't
other accounts.
understand, why the theater committee couldn't have donations
Well, it
through
would
a
still be
PayPal.
town of Pittsfield, but it would be for the theater.
Right.
We call it the Gap account. We could set it up at one of the local banks. All right, let me check on
Let's do
this.
that, because that's different from what we were told a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been involved in this part, so I'm not sure. I'll check into the details here.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But that would help. Then you could start somehow figure out how to contact alumni and, you know.
It's easy to contact the alumni. There's an alumni business directory.
All right.
I did have a nice long conversation during alumni weekend with the new headmaster, who wants to help out the theater as much as possible.
He's very nice.
He really suggested somehow, and maybe this is a task one of us could take on, of how to connect with the head of the dormitories, the activities persons up there to get the information to them about what is playing and what's going on at the theater.
Mhm.
He really stressed that.
He has very good intentions, yes, to get the students more connected with the community in many ways, which is good, the way it used to be when Doug Cummings was here.
Has anybody, do you know if Jamie called up to MCI about volunteers?
No, I don't know about that at all. About the key club type thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna just write myself a note. I will ask a couple people. I think it's Scott Gillenberg,
I think you're right.
or Michelin.
I thought it was Scott.
I think it's
and
Scott.
I don't know if she's not doing it any longer, but Mrs. Hughes.
So we're gonna wanna get that in there, really setting these kids up their volunteer stuff, or JMG too. They have JMG at MCI, don't they? And they have it at Warsaw, those kids are probably a little young, but they have it in Nokomis too. I know the woman that runs it.
They're very helpful in the programs, we've had them do different
Yes.
projects.
I'll do Nokomis too.
In fact, they can be so ambitious that they set up, the students run right out, we had them come set up for it's comical, for the business, job fairs, and you would get there, they would be there like an hour early and put all the tables where they wanted them instead of on the plot plan, they were so excited, so then we had to move them all back.
Anybody have any comments or?
I wanna get us back on a schedule.
Yes.
It's too, I'm not one to not know. This would drive me crazy. So I think that we should start picking our next meeting before we leave the meeting we're in.
Yes.
How do people feel about that? And then hope for the best. Because you know school is going to plan something.
Well,
They're
yeah,
usually ahead. Like next Wednesday is open house at Warsaw.
I
So-
had tentatively kind of put it out there for the 18th, just 2 weeks from now. Does anybody have? I'm committed to a set night so we can make plans weeks and months in advance and know that that is the night that I'm committed here.
So you want to do it the 18th?
Does it work?
I think so. I didn't put the school schedule in here.
So are you looking at doing this the third Wednesday of each month, with the exception of holidays, or just this meeting, and then set a schedule for?
Well, right now, we're looking to do it in 2 weeks. And I think we need to fill the gap and the movie at the D campaign and to keep that ball rolling.
I like the idea of coming back in 2 weeks, but I do think if we're going to get on a regular 2-week schedule, that we should do that not the first week of the month, because that's the only week that Patty can't make it.
That's fine.
But maybe do this one the 18th, and then not have one the second, maybe get to the 9th and 23rd, or we could always squeeze an extra one in the 25th if we needed to, but like the 9th, the 23rd,
Yeah.
try to stay off this.
Get back onto our
Okay.
schedule.
So we're gonna go for the 18th.
18th of October. 9.
And are we sticking with 6?
Yes, if that works for everyone else.
It works for me, good. Does it work for you? Yeah, that way
I don't even wanna throw this out there, but, cause you do such a great job, I don't wanna push on you. I always wait until I have the minutes before I do the agenda, so I can read through it to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. So I just wanted you to know that, when you get the minutes out, I'm like giddy. So the sooner they come out, the happier I am.
Try.
I know, life is very busy and you do a great job, so.
Let me know if you want me to come home. I'm not good with the stuff, but I play with the kids. Tuesdays and whatever your days off are. Mabel's back in school. I'll just come up and whatever. I'll do whatever you want me to. I love Ron. I'm not good with the tech stuff. I'm a good helper.
Anybody have anything? Jim, you have anything?
So is there a form that Jamie gives out to the businesses?
Well, there was a flyer created.
Okay. Does someone have one of those, or can I get access to one?
Yeah, where, I think that we need, to have the flyer, have Jamie's business cards.
Would it be helpful if I set up a Google shared document for the Fill the Gap or the Business of the Week, where we can put in all the business names?
These came back from a search.
Well, I'm not talking to you. Oh, I said Google, that's why. We can put in all the business names, and then we can put our names in, who we're gonna contact, and if we've contacted them, if they've said yes or no or whatever, and then we can put in the flyer there. We can put in her business cards there, so that way everybody has access to everything if we need it, so we don't have to contact people.
Well, there is, I think, having this many people, that might have to be a way to go, because I'm afraid we're gonna get people wanting the same weeks. I know it was brought up, that, what movie can I sponsor? Well, I'd like to stay away from that.
Yeah.
I'd like to stay to directing the date instead of the movie, because Jamie, not just Jamie, but these small theaters have such a hard time committing or getting commitment from the movie. We don't know if we're gonna have that movie, so if we're all going out and we're successful and we've got, I don't know how many different movies that wanna be in the next 3 weeks, we'll say, and we'll have multiple people. Hopefully businesses wanting to have the next few weeks, and we only need one at a time. Am I making myself clear?
Yeah, I mean, I think
Right.
it would be hard for businesses. We can't go and be like, oh, this business wants to do Spider-Man, and this business wants to do that, and they'll only do that. And I get that would be hard, but then we also have to think about how our business is going to want their name associated with certain movies. Like if we do get an R-rated movie, is
So
the daycare gonna wanna?
do we want
so
to
we
like
have to-
make sure to approve it with them? Or
something like that. I think we would have
We'll
to.
have to figure out some sort of system.
Right, because like a daycare is not gonna
Yeah.
donate for an R-rated movie, that's not their target audience
Yeah,
and stuff.
you're
you know, so
absolutely
we
right.
have to-
And I'm just
coordinate
afraid
that.
that we're just gonna get multiple movies on the same week. That's what I'm saying too.
Maybe we should look and see what's coming and then go find a sponsor.
You'll have a schedule for a certain point, and then
Right,
beyond that you
like
won't.
3 weeks at a time.
She's never been able to do 3 weeks that I know of. She did that.
I think she
No,
will
no.
though. It's just, she will.
I'm not criticizing her,
No,
Amber.
but
I'm saying
right.
that's what the movie companies are doing.
I
for
know,
her.
but I think that I think that she'll be able to do a month out. She's just getting there. I think she will. I have
Well,
high
so far
hopes.
it's not.
Right,
So we need
well.
to figure out what to do now. I hope.
Right, but we can see what's coming now, because it's not updated on the,
Well, she's put it out there on the internet.
on Facebook, but not on the website or anything. It's not on the website what's coming. This is the last movie. And this only shows in the
Nothing's
playing
on the
next
website
section.
except for Rocket Man.
If you go to what's playing next, it's what's playing now.
Right.
You know, it makes it out that far and like no further than
She's
this
got the
week.
one about running in the rain, the dog one.
Racing in the Rain, yeah.
Racing in the Rain is coming up. It is a great movie. It was a book. It's a great movie.
Maybe if she just even has a list of what movies she's wanting to get. Like she knows in advance. Like we know what movies are out right now, so we know that these are the movies that we will potentially be getting in a month. And if she has a list of these are the ones I'm trying to get, we could take that to them and be like, these are the ones we're attempting to get. Do you want to go with any of these?
Right. Because we might get somebody say, oh, what do you mean? You've got to have Spider-Man for 2 weeks? Well, we'll take the whole Spider-Man block. You know, you're going to have the most people for that. We want to just pay for the whole thing. Do 2 weeks at once. Oh my God.
That would be wonderful.
Never know.
All right, coordination is gonna be important.
No, we'll have to email, maybe get us all on a group email tonight.
Is that allowed?
I thought as long as we were on a group on it.
You can't make decisions, but you can talk.
Well, we kind of already are making the decision.
Right, you're already deciding
Right, I
what
mean, we
you're
know what
doing.
we want to do.
All
We
you're
just,
doing is going to coordinate
right, we need
what
to
you've already
execute.
decided to do.
The
So as
plan.
long as you don't make any decisions to spend money or, you know.
Oh, no.
Or do something, you know, an action, you're just implementing your plan.
Right. We're going out and get the sponsors. We've already been talking about getting, we just need to do it in a more organized way. And the email, group email is going to help us do that.
And then that is available if somebody from the public asks for it, we'd have to make
Right.
it available. But it's gonna be fine anyway, cause you're just coordinating what you're doing now.
Yep.
The only problem is when you make decisions over the email, that's an issue.
The only decisions we'll be making is who's going to what business. Because we already made the decision,
That you're
dividing it
dividing
up
them
and
up,
going
so
to
you're
the
fine.
businesses.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
fine with whatever she tells me to do.
Yep.
All right, are we done? Jen?
So,
I'm all set, thank you.
All right, we're adjourned. Thanks, guys.
You have your financial copies next week.
For the next meeting.
Next week I'll send them out.
awesome. Thank you.
Now, just out of curiosity, does anybody have anything they want on the agenda for the 18th?
We should probably
Well,
review these.
Right, take them home to review them, bring back our thoughts, highlight what's staying next, that's all.
Looks like you got a lot of good
And
topics
then-
here. On your regular agenda, you got some topics that will carry over.
Yeah, and so she still needs a volunteer for Sunday.
To my
I'm gonna
knowledge.
be there Saturday, but I can't do Sunday.
All right, if anyone
We need
doesn't
some more
want this, I'll
volunteers.
take this back.
We should make a public service announcement. If anybody's watching tonight, we need 2 new committee members and a lot of volunteers. And some money.
You want to watch that now.
My mother's probably watching. Hi, Ma. Lead. Oh.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Lily. See you, Jen.